What's going on, everyone? I hope everyone had an amazing day in the markets today, but we have some news for you. The market is at a crucial pivot point right now, so in today's video, we're going to go over some of the best setups in the market right now and the most important things you need to be aware of. Basically, we're going to cover the best setups to hopefully make tomorrow an awesome end of the week for you, because I think there are going to be some pretty awesome opportunities. But Tom, looking at the market right now, we have a lot of things to cover, so let's jump right into it.
Yeah, that price action today was insane. And actually, right off the bat, the market was flying to the upside. And a lot of people were watching 450 and then 451.50 to the upside today. And we actually hit up there and ended up falling right back to the downside, down to recent lows, and actually made new lows of the week. So that's cool to see. And there's a huge support down here, right around 445 and 444. More specifically, 444 even is where we've seen so many hits. You can see the SPY on its uptrend had a big resistance right there where we had a couple hits in the past, and even over the past few days, it's been having a lot of chop as it starts to get down to there. So we got to keep an eye on this support for tomorrow. But I will say, Mike, I'm a little bit worried if we end up breaking under here, and if we see these key stocks like Apple, Microsoft, and other stocks like that break their key supports that they're coming up to, then we're going to see bigger drops in the market. And I wouldn't be surprised if this happens. You know, we've been seeing bears starting to take control, but it's very important to watch these supports. Like 240 even on Tesla is huge there. The SPY support is huge. So these are just huge levels here to keep an eye on for tomorrow. And if we get under them, it could get pretty rough out there.
No doubt about that, and the market actually made a new low not only of this week, Tom, but actually since July 23rd, so it's definitely a big mark there. And as we've stated over the past couple of weeks, you know, if you cannot adapt, especially in this market, then you ain't gonna survive. It's just how it is, right? You always have to be able to adapt to, you know, be able to profit and flourish in the market, and now is a very important time because the market we're seeing right now is a much different market than we've seen all year, and honestly even longer than that. The market has changed, and the big money, like I don't want to say the big money like options flow, but like the best way to have made money over the past couple of weeks have been fading rallies. Every now and then we see, whether it be the market or big tech stocks or whatever, you know, have their little pop up just like this morning. But a lot of times, especially lately, we just see giant fades. Like a stock will try and run up and it just gets rejected, gets hit right back down. So that's where like a lot of the money's been made lately, and that's very important going forward because bears are in control right now, and you know that's been an awesome trade. So keep that in mind going forward. Even with big tech stocks, whether it be, you know, Tesla or Microsoft or Apple or Meta or whatever, they have been relatively weak lately, and it's been a lot easier to make money trading puts than it has been for calls over the past couple weeks.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of those moves to the upside as well have been happening at like very weird times. Like if we go over to the SPY, like look at all these moves. Like it happened right here. A lot of the move today was in pre-market. Of course, we did have a nice move up at open, but you know, a lot of these moves up have been like breakouts in the morning and in pre-market where a lot of people aren't really even catching that. And then we get those bigger fade downs, you know, like throughout the day. So I like that, Mike. And just these tech stocks right now are starting to provide some amazing opportunities. And I even want to highlight the other ETFs that you can use to capitalize off of some of these, like SPXS. This stock does amazing whenever the S&P 500 falls. It didn't even go green today, but the move from low to high, if you would have like bought the dip, for example, was something like 4 to 5%. So that's awesome there. And SQQQ has pretty good moves as well. They also had a great move from low to high. If you would have bought off that support down there around 1820, popped up around 6%. So these stocks can be amazing and can provide some great opportunities if the market's breaking supports, for example.
Exactly. So great stuff there, Tom. But let's talk a little bit more about like what happened in the market today and what we need to be aware of going forward. So as we've been saying all week, the inflation data report of today would be so important. And basically what happened is inflation data came in at 3.2% today, which it was like between expectations. But what's kind of scary is that it was actually higher than the last report that came in at 3%. This is the first time we've seen an increase in year-over-year inflation in a while, and I promise you, it is not a good thing. You know, it's been great to see inflation lowering over the past year, but a lot of people have been celebrating, but the game's not over just yet. So it's like, you know, while inflation came in like okay this morning, it had a lot of people cheering, you know, looking at the market. But as the day went on, people are like, you know what? Why is the market even rising? This news isn't even that good.
Yeah, exactly. That was the big thing that I saw this morning that really surprised me. Like we were gapping up and I was like, why are we gapping up right now? Inflation's going up. And then I read the headline and I'm like, oh, it came in slightly under expectation. So I guess it didn't go up as much as they thought, which the expectation was around 3.3%. And I guess that's why we got that big move. But as soon as we hit that resistance up there, Mike, we started selling off like gangbusters there. I mean, all the way back down to that low of the week, back down to support. So it's pretty crazy to see. And we've been waiting for that data for a while. And there's actually a few things out there suggesting that, you know, that inflation might continue up here. You know, we look at other things like crude oil, we look at energy, uranium, other stuff like that. It's been kind of going up off of lows lately. Like look at crude oil. It was down around that $65, $66 support all the way back up to like $84, $85 a barrel now just about. So yeah, we're definitely seeing energy come back up. And I've been, you know, seeing people talk about this at the gas pumps too. You know, gas prices are starting to get pretty high. Someone put in Discord today, it was like $6 where they live.
Not good. And then like even like commodities like sugar have seen prices rise over the past couple months as well. And what's very, very scary, Tom, is that we might see inflation go up even more in the future. And someone in the Discord today shared an awesome chart, and I saw it on Twitter as well, basically showing what happened between 1966 and 1982. And if this happens again, this can be absolutely disastrous, not only for the stock market, but honestly just for the economy overall. So this is actually very scary and is a very, very big risk. In the orange line, we could see the current inflation year-over-year chart, right? So we saw it pop up a lot last year, and then since its peak, the rate of inflation has been slowing down. In the blue line, we can see basically the same exact thing, but this happened in 1974, 1975, just the time range in the top part of the chart. And basically, it has been lined up exactly the same as what we're seeing now. And looking at the charts, if this same pattern continues, a whole new wave of inflation can happen. And like I said, if that does happen, that would be disastrous for so many reasons. If you think mortgages at, let's say, 7% right now are bad, tell me what you think of them if they get up to like 15%, right? It would be absolutely nasty.
Yeah, I mean, that would be terrible. Mortgage rates up that high. Like, imagine the monthly payments right now, how much higher they are than recent lows. Look at these years here, 76 through 82. This is right where we saw that inflation start to uptick like crazy. And if we go over to the mortgage rate chart, you can see right now, mortgage rates are starting to uptick, just like inflation kind of, was starting to on that chart, which is not good. And look at during that time, 75 through like 1982, we saw the mortgage rates rise at like an unprecedented pace during that period, and there was actually times of recession in these gray shaded areas. So throughout that time, there was actually like 2 recessions if you count 1982 and 1980. So very interesting to see, Mike. I am a big believer that mortgage rates might keep going up. It's hard to, live with the rates at the number they are, though, considering recent lows. Because, man, those lows recently were just so crazy during 2020, 2021. Like, those monthly payments were insane.
Yeah, so everyone's really nervous right now about this potential second wave of inflation, which, obviously would be horrible for the stock market and the economy. And looking at some potential paths, if inflation continues to rise, we can see on the chart right here, basically showing how much the yearly CPI would be, yearly inflation would be if the month or given a certain month over month increase. So basically in the dark blue line, you can see what already happened, but we can see like in the light blue line, what would happen to inflation if we saw like 0.1% month over month increases. But like in that black line, you could also see what happened if we saw like 0.6% month over month increases, which would be very, very bad and basically a second wave. So either way, keep a close eye on just inflation over the next couple weeks and months, as it will be very, very important. And yeah, Tom, I guess back to the markets now. Enough of this boring inflation talk. I'm really liking the price action we're seeing right now. I love this change of pace, you can say. It's hard to trade when the market's just like super choppy and doesn't move at all, but I don't think we're seeing that anymore. I think we're seeing some actually like very great intraday moves, and I've been loving it, and I'm very curious to see if SPY can hold this like 445 to 444 level, because it's going to be a big one.
Yeah, it's huge here. I mean, that support is just so great. I just cannot stress that enough over the next few days, and I have a bad feeling we might actually fall under it, but just be careful of a test. We could always maybe hit it and bounce back up, and that's the important thing of being adaptable, like we always say, Mike. And I will say, I think some of our plays for today are going to be pretty awesome, so stick around for those guys. They're going to be cool here coming up soon.
Alrighty, Tom. Well, let's jump right into them right now then. With the first one, I am looking at that crazy Chinese stock, Alibaba. It had a great day today, while a lot of other stocks were kind of stuck in the mud. The bot had a perfect trade on this one, and we'll talk about that in a couple minutes. But either way, looking at Alibaba, it's up around 5% on the day. They reported some decent earnings, and this stock was seeing inflows like none other in the market. If we can see a retest of like that 100 and like $2 level, I think this one could be a great candidate for a breakout. And realistically, this stock doesn't really care too much what the overall market does, which is great in this environment. So either way, I'm gonna have a very close eye on this one, but I would really like to see a break of that like 102 resistance.
Yeah, that would actually be awesome up there. That's a pretty big resistance, and even $100 tomorrow should be pretty big intraday if we don't break it pre-market. I know Baba likes to have some of those good pre-market moves, especially on like earnings days and a couple days following it. So let's hope to see some good movement there early on. With my first play though, Mike, I know Baba was up, but man, with that market down today, some of these other stocks like Microsoft, the bigger tech stocks, I'm really looking at them down. Microsoft has a pretty big double bottom here, right around 321. 320 is a bit of support as well, but I will be watching. If we break under 321, I'll be eyeing up those puts. Microsoft has been continually falling day after day, and man, if that SPY starts to break support tomorrow, we are going to see some brutal sell-off. So this should be a pretty good one if that event or if that scenario does play out.
No doubt about that. Another stock I'm watching tomorrow is Meta. Basically, if this one breaks down, it has a couple key levels over, I guess you could say underhead. I was going to say overhead, but basically $302.85 is a pretty decent support level in my opinion. After that, you have that $300 level, and then after that, you have that $296 level. If this one like breaks below any of those points, it definitely has some room to run to the downside, and Meta is normally a pretty good stock to trade.
Yeah, it is. I love it for intraday moves and different plays like that. It'll be fun for the puts for sure. And I know you actually had a pretty good play on this one the other day, under $310. And look at that big move that it had under there that day. That was an insane one, all the way down to like 303. So I'll definitely be watching Meta, one of the more fun stocks out there. And if Meta goes down, that's going to push QQQ down probably too. So I hope that QQQ goes down tomorrow under 367. I'll be watching this for puts here, but even better than puts, if QQQ breaks this 367 support and we start to see like Meta, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, stocks like that falling, I'll also be watching SQQQ calls. So we need that 367 support to break on QQQ. If it breaks, then look at calls on SQQQ, okay? This will go up if QQQ falls. It has pretty good moves intraday, and if we do get the breakout here, it should have a pretty good run. It was up 6% from low to high today.
Great stuff. All right, Tom. Well, we teased a little bit about this bot play today. Might as well cover it. We might as well cover it right now. If you guys are into short-term trading, you have to check out our bot. It's been on fire this week. More specifically, today it called out the BABA 100 strike calls at $173 each, and then basically popped all the way up to $247 each. Our bot does basically a lot of the hard work where you can just, see what it's, alerting and decide to follow it if you want to. I know a lot of people did follow it and did very well. So if you want to try it out, it'll be that first link in the description and the comments down below. Not only do you get access to our sniper bot, but also our hybrid bot, SM bot, other custom tools, multi-million-dollar hedge fund trades every single day, and a bunch of other great, tools and software that you can't find anywhere else. On top of that, Tom and myself spend our entire lives in this Discord, so if you have any questions or just want to chat sometimes, we are just a message away. So definitely check it out. And Tom, while we're in the Discord, we might as well showcase our member of the day, Christian D, who had an amazing day today, posting some of his profits. Awesome job, Christian. It looks like you crushed it with SPY and Apple. So keep up the great work, and we love to see posts like this.
Yeah, that's an awesome day there. 37% and about $3,700 there. Great play, Christian. Awesome moves, and thanks for posting them up. So congrats on member of the day. And hey, if you guys are having wins out there, post them up. Even we've seen some great ones lately, like Icy's too, and a few others. So it's good to see it, guys. It helps motivate the community. And yeah, let's go. Great to see some profits out there.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, Tom, let's jump right into those momentum plays. And with the first one, we have the mouse, Disney to the upside.
For a second, I was like, what the hell is the mouse? But you had me caught so off guard. But if they end up breaking 92.50, look at some calls. I will say, don't sleep on Disney the next couple days, guys. They've had some good news between the ESPN Penn deal and then with earnings. Sounds pretty good here.
All right, with the next one, we have Netflix to the downside, though.
NFLX. Yeah, this one's kind of brutal. Double bottom kind of down there around 427.50. So if we're able to get under that, then eye up those puts. Kind of like a play on the QQQ, Microsoft, and those other big tech stocks, too.
All right, and then with the last one, we have JP Morgan for both directions.
I like this one in both directions because you never know with banks. They could end up having some crazy news and go up, like maybe higher rates. That might be good for them or something. But if they fall under 153 tomorrow, go ahead and look at some puts to the downside. If they end up breaking above intraday resistance right around 154.20, then go ahead and look at calls.
Alrighty, so we have that upside level for calls, the downside level for puts for JP Morgan. Don't forget about Netflix with their downside level for puts. And then after Netflix, don't forget about Disney with their upside level for calls. But with that being said, let's jump right into today's big money trade of the day. We had someone dump $850,000 into the ENVX $17.50 strike calls that expire on October 20th of 2023. Basically, this setup is very interesting. This stock is, I don't know, how do I describe this stock, Tom? It's very crazy, right? Very volatile. It has some very big swings, to say the least. Right now, the stock's trading for around $16.50. It has like lows of $6.50 and highs of like $40. And all of this happened just over like the past like couple of years. So basically, for the trader who is longing these call options, they want this stock to go up. The higher it goes, the more millions they'll make. For me, right now, this setup isn't like anything jaw-dropping or like, super amazing. But, if maybe some good news comes out, maybe some sort of catalyst happens, that can change things for me. And maybe I would consider trading it.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy. The 1750 strike calls here on this type of stock. I mean, you never know. Maybe the big money knows something. Maybe it'll start to bounce off this like $15 support and start to come back up. I wouldn't be too surprised if that happened. The stock's been all over the place, Mike, and it's had some pretty crazy bounces. So I'll keep an eye on that support. It's definitely had a lot of swings down off that level. So maybe if we hit 15, I'll eye it up. But it's definitely one of the more interesting big money plays that we've seen lately. And the expiration is only like about 2 months away, so not really too far either.
Alrighty. So Tom, going into the market tomorrow, I'm pretty excited. We have 1 day left for the week. I think this week has been pretty good overall in terms of price action and opportunity. If this week has not been the best for you, that's okay. Keep your head up high. Tomorrow's a new day. Keep that discipline in place. If you just go out there YOLOing your money into whatever random setup, you're not going to have good results from that, right? Keep a disciplined approach heading into the market tomorrow, and as long as you have discipline and some sort of strategy in place, time will do its thing, and assuming your strategy is at least decent, you should do pretty well. Now, if you need any help, definitely check out that first link in the description in the comments down below. But I definitely like the way the market is headed, and I do think there will be some big opportunities in the near future. So, Tom, do you have any final thoughts before we close out?
Yeah, I mean, last thing I just wanted to say is just, there's going to be a lot of opportunities to the downside, I think, the next few days. It's going to be very fun. Keep your head high, like Mike said. Join up in the Discord. There's going to be a lot of opportunities. Don't forget about SQQQ, SPXS, and other stocks like that. If you're somebody who just likes to trade things to the upside, like maybe you're a bull starting to get stuck in this bear market, right? Maybe it's good to start to go after something like this then. Maybe at least you're, trading something up if that's your forte, but just keep it safe out there. Like Mike said, it's going to be it's a little hard to trade. I'll give it that, Mike. It's been pretty choppy the past few days, but if you catch the swings right, you can really have some good moves. The problem is whenever you get stuck holding too long right now, that's where you can have some problems, and that's where Mike's talking about strategy, stuff like that. You got to have stop losses in place and be able to take profits at appropriate levels.
Absolutely, and it might not seem like it, but like looking at the SPY chart right now, looking at like a short-term option. So for today, the option that expires tomorrow, some 450 puts on SPY went from like $100 to over $500 just based off of the SPY swing today. So that just gives you a little glimpse of how much these options move, and the opportunity that's there, depending on how good your entry is. Of course, it's hard to catch. It's not hard. It's impossible to perfectly catch the top and bottom. But if an option goes from $100 up to $500, you don't have to catch the top or bottom to make a great profit on the trade. So keep that in mind as well going into tomorrow and the next week and then rest of this month. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new to the channel, absolutely demolish that subscribe button. It takes us a long time to make these videos, and we go through a bunch of data and information every single day, so you don't have to. Basically, you can just watch like a 20 to 25 minute video and know everything that's going on and know everything that you'll need to know going forward. So when you subscribe, you'll see our videos recommended. You'll see our videos recommended to you more often. But besides that, let's have an amazing end to the week.